Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Chrysalis 9-light large crystal pendant. This is the 131141. This is going to be using this incredibly beautiful piece of glass I have right in front of me. If you're familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have glass blowers all over the world doing their work for them, and it is pretty amazing. This is the larger of the two sizes available for this, so go check out this video on the smaller one too, so you get a chance to check it out and see all the details. So glass, hand blown into a mold to get this kind of faceted idea, and then what they do, and it's crystal too, so it's really, really intensely beautiful. Then what they're going to do is offer this other shell on the outside, and what that's supposed to be, it's opaque, and that's going to hide the socket so you don't see that. It's going to be offered in two different ways. So you see the pull down menu, it says choose your glass, and it's basically going to give you this matte white. That's going to be one of your options, and the other one's going to be a matte black. The whole thing is dipped in this matte glass, and then they come back and they grind away each facet and hand polish each one. I wish you could be here to see it. It is very, very beautiful. It's also very substantial. This stuff is not for the light of heart. It is it's the real thing when you get into big hunks of crystal, and these facets are gorgeous. So anyway, it also doubles as beautiful sculpture that you can put on your table for a while. So let's talk about a little bit more detail on this. Let's get into that canopy up on the ceiling, 20.5 inches in diameter. It's about that thick. It's going to be holding a transformer. It's going to transform your line voltage in your home into low voltage so it can safely go down through all those cables. I want to show you more information about that canopy, and how we're going to do it is we're going to look at the inside of that canopy in drawings, and how we can do that. We're going to look at the installations instructions. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say click here for installations instructions PDF. Open that up for me. It is going to show you a full parts list of all the parts that you are going to get with this, how it easily goes together, very simple. But it's also going to show you detailed drawings, like I said, of the canopy, how it's going to go over your 4-inch junction box, and there are other parts on that canopy that allow you to attach it to the structure of your building. Slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees, so you're good to go there. The other thing is, why don't we talk a little bit about the finish on the canopy. You know, the choose your finish on this is going to be talking about also the plate on the bottom of the canopy, the flat plate facing down, is going to be in the finish that you choose. The can part of the canopy, that's the side that goes around, touching the ceiling, is always going to be in black. So take note. The other thing about this, those little cables that come up are going to be going into what are called grippers, and grippers do exactly what they say. They grip, and you push them in. If you need to kind of back them out to get your little crystals where you want them to be, what you can do is take your thumb, push them in, and it releases that and allows you to kind of back them back out again. You're not going to be cutting any wires or cables until you've got everything where you want it to be on this. Very, very important. Okay, moving on. What we talk about is going on inside of this. This is going to be an LED only fixture. You're not going to be using any halogens in this at all. You're going to be using what's called a G4 socket, and that's going to be kind of hiding like way up here again, like I talked about, up in that part of it. And it's a small socket and takes a small bulb. And the G4 bulbs come in lots of different types, and I'll show you some pictures of those. It's going to be using a 4-watt bulb in each of these sockets, and a 4-watt G4 LED is the equivalent of a 40-watt halogen, so it throws a lot of light, and you'll want to put it on a dimmer, which I'll talk about too. So when we talk about those bulbs, the best place to find them is online, quite honestly. You could go to Ace Hardware and True Value and those kind of places, but if you want a better array to look at, your best bet is to go to like 1001bulbs.com or justbulbs.com. We buy these bulbs on Amazon because it's just so easy. You put into the search G4 4-watt LED, and let's see what pops up. And you're going to notice they're going to be offering these in lots of different ways. So they're going to offer them in different color temperatures of light coming out. They're going to offer them in 2700 Kelvin or 2700 K. That's going to be super yellow like the setting sun. They're going to be offering them in something called daylight. And daylight sounds warm, but it's not warm. That's going to be like a overcast day in the wintertime. It's also going to be like a hospital waiting room light. That's that bluish white light that you see on a lot of LEDs. That's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on that Kelvin scale. So remember that. In the middle of all that, what we like to use is called warm white, which is 3,000 Kelvin, and that's what we use in our showroom. That's the light coming down in my hands from here. These are 3,000 Kelvin LEDs, and they throw a beautiful warm light that looks a lot like an incandescent bulb I grew up with. Circling back to the dimmable part of this, so it's a dimmable fixture without a problem. If you're going to be going in that direction, and I think you should, A couple things, make sure it says on that bulb when you look at them online or in a store that it says dimmable. Very important, don't just assume. Also talk to your installer. Tell them you're using a dimmable LED because they're going to need to buy the correct dimmer to put on the wall for you. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I'll walk you through the whole thing, okay? So, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.